Welcome to Thursday morning medical Qigong practice. My name is Mary Francis. I am one of the Major Wally's students. Today, it being Thursday, we're going to be working on the Basic 8 series. We've learned 3 exercises from that series so far, and our warm-up is going to be that circular breathing that is classically done as an opening for the entire series. So let's go ahead and begin. We're opening up, our feet are parallel so that the channels are open evenly in the front of the body and the back of the body. The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. That's allowing that connection between the front of the body and the back of the body, most notably the Ren and the Du channels. And we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose, settling into the space, letting the bottoms of the feet melt into the earth a little bit, softening the knees a little bit. That might help allow the tailbone to drop, creating a little more space in the cervical lumbar spine. Lumbar is low back, cervical is neck, lumbar. A little bit of space in the lumbar spine. And then relaxing the shoulders. Once we've started to relax the shoulders, we're actually going to allow a bit of space underneath the arms in the armpit area to allow the arms to float just a bit away from the torso. This gives a little more space for the chi to circulate. We're trying to allow those arms to hang nice and loose. We're going to soften the jaw. And then take the very top of the head, the apex of the head, allow it to reach up into the sky. This is creating space within the cervical spine. Once again, we're not forcing anything. We're just allowing the body, the channels, the tissues to open up a bit, creating greater chi and blood flow. Closing the eyes. And using our mind intent, our mind's eye, we're inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian. That's that space 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. Exhaling still through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi down to the lowest aspect of the torso, the perineum. Inhaling all the way up to the big spine point, where the cervical spine meets the thoracic spine. And exhaling to the palms. And to Lao Gong. Going through this circular route a few more times. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian. Exhaling all the way down to the perineum. Inhaling all the way up to the big spine point. And exhaling to the palms. Inhaling, lower dantian. Exhaling, perineum. Inhaling, big spine point. And exhaling to the palms. few more times at your own pace, allowing the mind intent and the breath to work together. Flowing through this circular route. Helping to create greater communication within the body, between the organ systems, between the tissues, the channels. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. The breath relaxing the body. And the chi to flow freely through this circular route. Getting ready to start finishing up. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes. And closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. We're flowing right on in to our lung and large intestine exercise. Opening. Feet are still parallel. We're bringing the backs of the hands together, rolling the shoulders forward. Inhaling. Exhaling, palms are facing the earth. And then rotating to face back behind you. Inhaling as you drag those backs of the hands up the back of the body. Rotating the wrists. Exhaling. Palms are facing the earth, claws. Inhaling as you sink at the knees. Releasing the hands. Exhaling as we stand. 2 more times. Releasing. Continuing on at your own pace, allowing the breath to draw forth the movement. need to move a little faster or a little slower, please feel free to do so. You're working at your own rate. And about one more time. Finishing up and closing. Getting ready for the second exercise, not in this series, but that we're going over today, the heart and small intestine exercise, opening. Feet start out parallel. We're creating those claws in front of the lower dantian. Inhaling. Palms are still facing back behind you before then we flip. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then continuing on at your own pace. And about 2 more times. Getting ready to close. Releasing the hands. Bringing that left foot back to the right. Our Sanjiao exercise. Starting with the feet together. Inhaling, bringing the hands up underneath the arms. The palms are facing the sky. Exhaling fully. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling as we expand. Exhaling on the contraction. And allowing the mind to sink into the exercise. Sink into the breath. Moving as quickly or as slowly as you need. Out one more time on each side. And release. Keeping the feet together, we're going to bring the palms together. Transferring some of that wonderful energy to the palms. We're going to switch up our numbers today, not drastically, but instead of doing 9, we're going to do 18. Give our faces and our heads some of that wonderful, wonderful chi that we've been cultivating. So, washing the face 18 times. Okay, wiping the brow 18 times, above and below. And then wiping up and down the entirety of the nose 18 times. Okay, now we're doing our circles. Now these are 9 in and 9 out. So just 9 and 9, and we're doing the lower, middle, and upper aspects of the nose. Just underneath the pupils at the cheekbone, inward and outward, 9 times each. And then dredging the channels of the scalp. We're going back to 18. Using all the fingertips. Beating the drum, this is also 18. Grasping the ear, we're going to do 18. And switch. Popping the cork 18 times. Our circles, once again, we're going back to 9 inward and outward at the philtrum and the mandibular crease. We're massaging the jaw. This time it's 9 times each side. Brushing down the throat 12 times total, or 6 times each side. And then continuing on brushing down the breastbone 12 times total, or 6 times each side. Our circles at our lower dantian 9 times, up the right and down the left. And then switching directions. Resting the palms at the lower dantian, closing the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath in the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that it may be used throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling, guiding the breath in the chi into the lower dantian. Exhaling, allowing that chi to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Gathering the chi into the lower dantian. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. The breath to relax the body. And the chi to settle and store. Thank you, everyone. It's so good to see you. Henry, please come for our chi chat, and also to tell me whether I was too creative unwittingly with the numbers for the facial rejuvenation series.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Was that a spontaneous decision?
We had more time than we usually do, so I wanted to add in more circles, and I knew it was 18, but I didn't know for sure. Even though Erin asked you, and I should have written it down when she asked you.
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh no, it's all good. You know, we feel much younger after doing extra facial rejuvenation, so that's definitely a good choice. Yeah, I was just curious if you had planned it, you know, like earlier, or if you just kind of spur of the moment, you know, kind of fire like in that regard.
It was perhaps more fire-like.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're gonna talk in the chi chat today. We're continuing with the 5 elements. We've been talking about fire yesterday, and we talked about wood the day before, and how, you know, we're talking in a context of personalities and relationships to each other. You know, 5 elements is a great way. We use it a lot in diagnostics. We use it to look at seasons. We look at foods. So all these things can be broken down into 5 elements. But we've been looking at it at 5 elements right now as it pertains to us and how we relate to other people and how people relate to us. Okay, so today we talk about earth. Earth is really important because it's the element that ties all the elements together. in terms of the seasons, it's the one that is between the seasons. So between spring and summer, the energy goes back into the earth and it goes back out. So everything always returns back into the earth. And we do that in our Qigong practice too. Okay, when we close, each time we close our exercises before we start the new one, we're symbolically and energetically returning the energy back into the earth and then resetting and then starting again with a new exercise by reopening. So we use earth a lot. Earth gives us stability. It gives us some predictability, some constant in a life that can be sometimes chaotic and unpredictable. So earth gives us that stability, that constant reliability. So that's a very interesting characteristic of earth in terms of personality too. So when we talk about the earth personality, people who have a lot of earth, they tend to be very stable. They have that kind of reassuring sense that they give off to people. So when you're in the presence of someone who has a lot of earth, you're going to feel kind of safe. You're going to feel protected. You're going to feel like they're going to nurture and take care of you. So that's some positive signs of earth. Earth tends to also be very stubborn in both a good and bad way, because they're slow to change. So that's good. That can be good. That can be bad, depending on the situation, right? So, but you always know where they are. Okay, they move slow, in a good way too. Okay, and they change slowly. So you know, so this is quite the opposite with, say, fire. Fire, in comparison, would be kind of changing all the time, spontaneous, unpredictable. Okay, so earth is going to give you that predictability. Earth is also about nurturing. So you can think about the classic like Mother Earth personality, someone who takes care of you, someone, when you get home, they're always there waiting for you. Maybe they have food on the table ready for you. On the other hand, there's another type of wood. Another type of earth. Jesus, another type of earth. Okay, so that first type of earth we talk about, that nurturing type, is what we call soft earth. Okay, and then we also have another earth that's called a mountain earth. And mountain earth has a lot of the same qualities of the soft earth, but where soft earth focuses more on taking care of like family, friends, loved ones, mountain earth tends to be more expansive. So they have a little bit of an aspect of wood in them, in that they have very strong boundaries, and they pair that with the earth kind of protection. So think of a mountain, it's like very unmovable. All right, you can't just push it around. Okay, it's very like strong and very grounded, rooted into the earth. And with that, that can be a good or bad thing. So you don't want to be on their bad side. You want to be on their good side of things. And with this kind of earth, we look at them, they can be very strong leaders, okay? And they pair very well actually with the wood element, because the wood tends to be more of a driver of things, and the earth tends to be more of the nurturing. So when you have the two together, they can be very good protectors of the country, protectors of communities, protectors of people. And that's where the mountain earth tends to be very strong, is that they're more of an outward protector and nurturer. So think of like a larger scale of things. Think of a mountain as really huge, okay? So the other thing about earth, so we're gonna look at the downside and the challenges of earth, is that, yeah, it's unmovable. And so when it does need to change, and if you have a lot of earth, it's gonna be very difficult for you to change. Remember that the emotion of earth is worry. Okay, so you tend to worry a lot if you have a lot of earth energy. Basically ruminating in your thoughts, thinking things over and over and over again. Think about this as a type of digestion. Okay, so earth we say is related to the spleen and stomach. So this is very much about digestion in the physical sense, but also in the mental sense. What I mean is that, you know, like it needs time to sort of digest ideas. Okay, so if you give it something new, it's like, okay, let me think about this. Let me, you know, worry about it. All right. So it's going to take it some time. And, you know, whereas if you compare it to someone who has a lot of, say, wood energy, they're just going to go for it. They don't care. Okay. They're not going to think about things. They're more about action. Again, this is where wood and earth pairs very well together. Okay. So again, going back to that digestion of the mind, so ideas, it also takes time to think things through. Okay. So that can be a challenge when you need to change. But when it's there to be very stubborn and determined, then that's a good thing. All right. So, so we can treat earth with itself, like surrounding yourself with more healthy earth people. Okay, if you feel like you don't have a lot of earth energy, or if you feel if you have too much earth energy, right? So you want to probably use something like the control cycle. So control cycle is 2 elements before. So when we look at the 5-element chart, that would be the wood energy. Okay, so wood is all about action, and earth is about stability. So yeah, if you want to have less earth, less of that, you know, immovability, you want to have that wood around. Okay, whether it's you trying to generate yourself or you're trying to surround yourself with wood people who can sort of get you moving on things, get you to stop worrying, get you to stop overthinking about things. Okay, and if you don't have enough earth, like maybe you want to be more of a nurturer, maybe you want to be have more stability in your life, you want to be more immovable. Okay, sometimes that's important, like whether that's like emotionally more like, you know, strong and stable, you want to be very what's the term, you're very convinced. I know there's another word for it, but you're very convinced about your own opinions. Okay, you're not going to let anyone change your mind. Maybe you feel like you change your mind too often, or maybe you're too easily swayed by things, and you know you're deep down, you know you're right. Okay, maybe you need more of that earth to really be grounded and still. In that case, you probably want to generate more of that earth, but also like actually a little bit of fire. Okay, fire gives birth to earth. Okay, so sometimes you need that fire to help you be more of who you are, right? So instead of worrying in your head, you want to feel that gut feel, that leading by the heart. Okay, if your heart and your mind are connected, you're going to be even more strongly grounded. Okay, so you know the earth, the fire is going to give you more of that lesson of like, you got to go with your heart, you got to trust your heart. Okay, you got to trust what you feel here and not be so easily swayed by other things. All right, so that gives you a little bit about the earth energy. We're going to talk more tomorrow about the metal. Okay, metal's about clarity, and yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so thank you for joining us today. We've been ruminating a lot about earth, so we'll move on. We got to get out of this earth energy now. We got to move on to metal. All right, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.